Well, good morning. Dr. Glenn here with your Monday morning motivation, but it's not Monday and it's not the morning. What we're doing is sending this out a little bit early, Friday afternoon, to make sure that we have an early conversation about all this white stuff that's flying around out there and probably accumulating on your driveway. You know, every time it snows heavy like it is right now, the next week, I usually have quite a few new patients with back pain from shoveling snow. So number one, I'm going to give you my number up above. Don't wait until next week. Give me a call. I'm happy to come into the office and treat any kind of emergencies from snow shoveling. So that's my number. Do give it a call and don't feel bad about that. I'm happy to meet you and I'm around this weekend. Number two, better than coming in to see me on the weekend is to actually avoid injury in the first place. So I'm going to give you my tips in terms of how to get rid of the snow on your driveway without injuring your back. So this has nothing to do with the normal health and wellness topics that we have. This is truly injury prevention to try to keep people away from hurting their back. So let's get into it. Number one, it sounds easy, but just don't do it. We have lots of different alternatives. We have this wonderful rain that I promise you is going to come over the next 2 to 3 weeks. You can just wait, let the snow accumulate, and let the rain wash it away. Very nice way to do it if you can. Hire some neighborhood kids, get a service in. Even if you got lots of money to burn, buy yourself a snow plow. All very good alternatives to actually shoveling the snow. But sometimes we have to. So if you're out there shoveling, it might feel like it's a workout. And the reason for that is because it is. It's a strenuous but could be very healthy workout, but we need to treat it as such. So the first most important rule of working out is to give yourself and your body a really good warm-up. And there's no secrets to what a good warm-up is. It's simply warming up the body and the muscles. So you can get out, you can run up and down the driveway, you can do some jumping jacks or skip in place. Anything that's going to get the muscles warm and the blood flowing is going to be good. The next tip is to try not to lift. As much as you can, just push the snow off to the side of the driveway rather than lifting. If you do have to lift, make sure you all know this, bend your knees. But it's funny, if you watch people that have been told to bend their knees, it's very easy to bend your knees and straighten your knees and then flex your back at the last minute. It doesn't help you whatsoever. So make sure that the back stays nice and straight and you're squatting and lifting back up again with the shovel with snow. Your muscles should be very, very fatigued at the end of snow shoveling. That's a good thing, rather than the joints being painful. And that's the next tip, is to make sure that you're using your muscles rather than your joints for leverage. It's easy to pry the shovel up on your leg, use your back for leverage, but you don't want to do that. You want to be using the muscles for what they are, and that's to contract and lift things. If it gets too heavy and you can't rely on the muscles anymore, then don't go to the joints for leverage. Just stop doing what you're doing or take smaller shovels. The last one is to make sure that you have very busy feet. And by that, you don't want to have your foot anchored in place and rotating your back. In fact, the most vulnerable position that your back will be put in is when you forward flex and then rotate. The exact same thing you do to throw snow off your shovel. And we're doing it with a load on the shovel. So you really want to avoid that forward lean with rotation. Instead, squat down, lift the shovel up with the inverse of squat. Then make sure that you're moving your feet. Turn back and forth with your feet rather than rotating your spine, making sure that you keep as much of that load off your spine as possible. So there's my 5 or 6 tips to hopefully keep you away from calling that number up above if you get yourself into trouble. If you do, by all means, I'm always happy to chat or meet you at the office. Have a wonderful weekend and healthy and fun next week. Enjoy the snow for what it's good for. Get out there and play with your kids. Watch some kids playing and it'll make your day. And I will see you next Monday morning.